Hello. Bl'Artagnan here with Parted Hopes, the Snow Intertwined Wills Lufania Plus fight. We're bringing a team of Golbez, Lenna, and Core. Before we get too deep into it, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and, I don't know, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. It's cold out, isn't it? I hope you're keeping warm and staying safe. So what do we got going on here? This is going to be a Golbez run, so it's going to be a little bit less explosive than some of the other teams and runs you may be seeing for this fight. There's a lot of ways to just kind of blow them away. The boss really has next to no way of stopping you from just crushing it. No turning it, pushing it away, deleting it, whatever you want to do, really. Honestly, the only mechanic that you have to worry about, if you want to call it that, is that the orb can wreck you if you don't bring ice damage. So we're bringing the Kurasame call, base call on Core, because this means so long as he's getting his preemptive attack off, he's going to be keeping that orb nice and steady. We're going to be boosting the orb at different points during the fight, though, because the secondary condition is going to be coming into play here, that +3 on reduced brave damage, because Core's buff and reduces brave damage, as you see there, orb goes up, and Golbez has a personal brave damage reduction as well, so when an all attack is queued up, like this one here, Core can just drop the buff on Lenna, and there we go, boom, 3 boosts to the orb, so that's great. I mean, shocking, Core is good in the stage, right? That's never happened. I guess the little dude over there can be dangerous if you're not careful. Every third attack, he will go from triple cut to triple cut plus, which can deal a tidy amount of HP damage. I think without mitigation, it could kill a dude. Of course, with Lenna and Core / Golbez, we are not going to have to worry about that. There we go. It's actually handy to keep the little summon around if you can, because it's more opportunities for the orb to take up if you're doing some kind of team that lets the boss take turns. Meteor. Yeah, I continue to be not impressed by Golbez, but pleased that I can use him, and that he doesn't feel shitty to use. I was really worried that he was just going to feel like absolute garbage, and, well, he's very clearly underpowered compared to other BT Plus units. He's still a BT Plus unit, and he does just fine, I think. You see there, without Lenna's big HP boost, that could have been very problematic. Oh yeah, it also unsummons after that happens, so something for you to know. You'll see we at this point, the Kurasame enchant has fallen off course, so we're gonna want to reapply that at some point. That said, we have some time. We don't need to right now. We can let one more tick of the debuff go in order to maximize its uptime, because the second condition of the orb has been keeping us nice and safe orb-wise. In addition, we were able to, use the base Fran call to extend the LD call for the Fran debuff, which is kind of neat. Bringing in Bart's here. I don't know if he was necessarily the friend unit you expected me to bring, but I figured I wanted Core on the field because, he'd help with the orb a lot, and it's Core. And I knew if I brought like a Machina or some kind of other non-Unifriend, I couldn't find any Unifriends, unfortunately, then our auras were going to fall off and we were going to start doing shit damage. So, Bart's it is. He's actually going to help us pretty nice for the burst phase, because we are doing the old Sid Reigns plus refund strategy to get past that. I know Golbez burst phase isn't the most exciting nowadays, but might as well maximize it. It's like, 7 free launches, that's pretty good. Something like 14 extra HP dumps. So yeah, that's where we're at this point. I'm trying to decide whether I want to refresh the Kurasame call or let it tick up, because once I apply it there, it's going up to 5 stacks, and it's going to count back down to 1 on the enemy turn. And that kind of sucks. You'll see we put the Core buff on Golbez, because we are ready at this point. Since it's at 5 stacks, I figure we might as well. I wanted to Twin Meteor first. And I'm going to Twin Meteor first, because I want that free skill in the burst phase. It sucks, because the HP damage is going to, on the Kurasame is going to, reset. So maybe I should have held off on using that. Oh well. Can't be helped. I guess that was a Kurosame misplay. There we go. Gonna keep that buff on Golbez. Would have been nice to put it onto Bartz just to kind of keep the orb in check there, but we can do that afterward. We want Core, of course, to be attacking during the burst phase, because that's just going to be great. Bartz is all stacked up. We are ready to go. We have the Rains Call. We get the free skill. Here we go. Golbez burst time. Obviously, using skill 1 since it has more single target damage. More potency, as they like to say. Potencies are useless. I gotta say, Golbez hitting some good damage there we go. Pretty sure he's he's capping his brave hits, which is great, more or less. Okay, not quite capping anymore now that they're below 50%, but given that the only defense down in play is the Fran, that's pretty sweet, pretty solid. And he's doing quite a hefty amount of HP damage too. I mean, hefty, let's be... Okay, once again, keep this in context. Machina is doing like 1 million damage a button during these burst phases. Jekt is doing close to that on his burst phases. So with Golbez, I'm lucky and happy if I can hit 500,000. I mean, hey, 484 damage on an HP attack button. That's kind of neat, isn't it? So this is not one of those fights where Golbez's Brave Freeze is especially relevant. I mean, it's better than not having his Brave Freeze, I guess, but we've had a few fights recently where the enemies have had a threatening attack that he can at least neuter and nerf. So this is more of just a using Golbez for the sake of using Golbez fight and less of a here's how he is useful in this stage. He does technically check the orb with his Brave damage reduction, like the personal buff. However, I don't think by himself that it's going to be enough without, like, you know, if you bring like a Kurosame main party or some kind of ice enchant to keep the orb up, that could work. But I think it'd be a little bit risky to run him as the solo Brave damage reduction for this fight. I'm sure it can be done. I'm just saying it's risky and probably not a great use of team building if that's the route you're going. We're good, chucking some snakes. We got that raised cap from Shiva. One last launch. Alright, 1 million damage on a button. Now we're talking. Thank you, Golbez. At least one of his buttons was able to produce 1 million damage somehow. Bartz is now out, which is fine, because he served his purpose. The main reason we wanted Bartz here, between you and me, was I wanted that refund during the launch, during the burst phase. Again, if we had had a Yuna friend that I had access to, I probably would have picked her instead, because Golbez loves that Brave cap up, and then we could have tagged Core out and had Lenna and Yuna buffing Golbez's damage, and that would have been great, but it's okay. Now, gonna see if we can't kill them before it resummons the ad, because that's another 3 million HP we're gonna have to chew through if it does resummon the ad. So we're just spamming Core's LD and stuff. Once again, as per usual, the orb not an issue at this point. Protecting Lenna so that everyone is nice and shielded. Once again, keeping that orb in mind, since that's really the only thing about this fight that you need to worry about, is making sure you have some way to deal with the orb. So I'm going to try and finish things off with style here. Let's go with the burst finisher, fueled by his own burst effect. That's pretty cool, and it left it at 2%. That is just a fine howdy do, isn't it? Okay, well, Core, take us home. Core, come on. 1%. Okay. Is this gonna do it? No. Well, this sucks because now the ad is back. So that was a bit of a goddamn farce. Go ahead and take advantage of the rest. There we go. Now he's dead. Great. The damage is already done. The ad is on the field. Now, because he's here, we have to chew through it. So that's just kind of dumb. We almost had this under 40 turns, but them's the breaks, kid. Sometimes it just works out that way. It's the way the cookie crumbles. So there's not much to say for this part. Basically, you know, I'm pretty sure if it gets 3 turns, it's gonna kill itself. We'll probably miss the HP requirement then, though. So I guess we are technically trying to race this thing down before it gets its HP attack off. I think we'll be okay, though. All 3 of these characters are doing great damage. I mean, Core's damage is not great, but it happens so often that it kind of adds up. Lenna, of course, is dealing true damage, and Golbez still this late in the fight. He doesn't care. I mean, whatever. All right. Take us home, Core. Please. Please take us home. End this thing. End my misery. There we go. All right. Well, there you have it. Golbez, Lenna, Core. That was exciting, wasn't it? I hope you had a good time. I sure did. Attack 65. Barts, you're letting me down here. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.